and a good exemplar, I suppose, of a lot of the concepts we've already been discussing. And he offers some unique answers to a lot of these questions we've been asking, like questions like, what do we know? And so, Kant's answer to a first approximation is that certain sciences and certain disciplines can be known, such as mathematics and geometry. But he would also add that the knowledge of these sciences is not a knowledge of the things as they are in themselves, but only as they appear to us. So he would say something like, anything that we claim to be facts, whether they be mathematical or geometrical, certain mathematical equations or certain geometrical equation, for instance, we can know them, but we can't know those things that we do know about those things don't say anything about the world in and of itself beyond, I suppose, our perception of those things.
All knowledge that we have has experience as the subject. It's always in some way about human experience. It's either about human experience in the sense that, like, we had a certain experience and we're talking about it, or it's about the nature, the underlying sort of structure of human experience. So like the synthetic a priori that Kant sort of comes up with is sort of revolutionary idea, being that, all experience occurs in accordance with the law of cause and effect.
Right.
It's some sort of metaphysical knowledge in a sense, but it's still, the subject matter is our experience. It's not about the world as it is separate from our experience. It's some sort of knowledge about the structure and the kind of thing that makes human experience possible, like the kind of human experience that we have possible. So whatever it is, whatever knowledge we have, the subject matter is in some sense human experience.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. And, I think in knowing, it's really hard to go beyond experience in some sense. We're always, I suppose, operating from a certain frame of reference, from a certain subjective point of view, and it would seem that knowledge in some sense, is very phenomenological, based upon, how things seem to us in our experience. And, it's also to say that, in making a claim to know something, we bring something to that experience. And that thing we bring to the experience, I suppose, would be the a priori way of knowing something, like cause and effect, like a law of causation. If I drop a glass on a hard surface from a sufficient height, I know if I drop that glass from a sufficient height on a hard surface, that it will shatter upon impact. And that doesn't say anything about the world in and of itself beyond the way that I perceive it. I bring to this experience a certain category of causation, and in some sense I superimpose this upon reality to some degree.